We didn't have anything. It was all paper applications. We had zero automation, nothing. So it was a big step for us 3.5 years ago, and it continues to be a huge step for us daily because Hireology is so innovative and keeping up with the time. So it's keeping us automated and compliant with our HR function as well.
Yeah, it was very scattered. They had contracts with Career Builder mostly, but they used Craigslist and Monster, and it was just, they were still using some newspaper ads as well. Each dealership kind of did their own recruiting.
We were the good old paper forms. So we had a paper application, we had a paper release form that was done at the dealership level. So when an applicant would come in, they would fill that out, and actually they would send it to HR at the corporate level, and we would run the background checks.
Before Hireology, it was a mess. We did a lot of paper applications. Of course, you try to do referrals internally and things like that, but it was just very unorganized.
Before we had Hireology, we didn't have a career site or anything like that, and just having the career site in place and giving people the capability of applying online has increased not only our candidate flow, but the quality of our candidate, which is lovely. You get a different type of candidate that goes to your career site rather than the type that just quick applies on Indeed. So you have that difference in quality and quantity.
Before Hireology, we were using Indeed, which was very expensive. Hireology has been a lot more efficient and affordable, and then Craigslist as well. Those really were, and word of mouth as well. That's always been a source, and we continue to work that.
I was just, we'd run an ad on Craigslist, hope for the best. However, if somebody walked in, I'd meet people in a store and try to hire them, things like that. So.
When we first started using the system, there were a couple of bumps on the road, I would say, but when we first started, like the background check and drug test processes were a little bit slower, and any complaint that we'd ever had was always addressed, and now the background checks and drug tests come back within 3 to 5 days, and you guys are just keeping up with the times really well. We have 25 dealerships on the platform right now, so I'm not personally screening every single one of them, but my managers are, and I could say that the process is going a lot quicker for them as well as for myself for the corporate roles and the high-level roles at the dealership level. Everything is just streamlined at this point, which is so nice. Before, it was paper application. The paper application could have got lost in a pile, or that it would never even get to the hiring manager. So now it's nice that everything is housed in one place for us and that it is a streamlined process.
It's much more organized, and it gives us the ability to kind of track our directors to see, are they following the processes that we're expecting? Are they asking the right questions, following the script, doing background checks, getting references, all of those things that we've always wanted done. It helps us ensure that those things are getting done.
Not just the application process itself, someone being able to go online rather than coming in person and completing in-person paper application. Now everything is sent to them via email, even through the onboarding process. So reference checks, skills testing, background checks, all of that is automated, whereas before we were having them come in for a drug test and actually doing the drug test ourselves, So it's just so much quicker, so much more nice. And prior to us having Hireology, the process in general took about 2 to 3 weeks to bring someone on board, and now it's about 5 to 7 days.
Hireology has actually changed my entire role responsibility at the dealership. I wasn't happy with the way that we were hiring people. We had no process. We were making a lot of bad hires. Paul Timlin contacted me several times, and I would blow him off. And finally one day, I thought, I need to listen to this because this isn't working. And I had him speak with MERRILL, the owner of the dealership. I'm very process-oriented. If you tell me how to do something, you give me the steps, I'm very good at it. It was immediately, instantaneously. It was so much easier for me. All of a sudden, I was getting qualified candidates. It was very, send him an email. It was, the process was very simple for me. And it's been good. We've made some really great hires.
It's really been great in that regard, actually, because for the first time, we can see everything all at once in one location, where before it was all manual. The filing capabilities and the history and the database and all that good stuff we weren't utilizing at all. So it's been quite transformative.
I love the testing that you can do. There's been times that we've had applicants and you're going along in the interviewing process and all of a sudden you've got a high risk, and you never would have guessed that based on your maybe phone screen or the in-person interview even. And so it's really nice to be able to kind of have a deeper dive into that applicant before you offer the position to them. You put a ton of time, energy, money into every person that you have join your team, and if we can do a little bit of homework and research and a little extra work up front, that saves us so much in the end. And we've found huge success when we do follow the processes that Hireology has in place for us, that those team members do seem to stay with us a lot longer.
I take processes very seriously, so if I look at something and I haven't reviewed an applicant in a couple of days, that's just not me. I'm usually reviewing them within a day. Because it's so difficult in our market, the area that we're in, I want to be as quick as possible when we talk to these people. We hired some amazing young people, and I'm really excited. We hired some technicians that left Toyota to come to work for us. They told us, we didn't come to work on Ford vehicles, we came to work for you because of your reputation. And that to me said it all. And they're young college graduates, they're just amazing people. So I want to sit down with them. They've been with us now, some of them, 3 months, 4 months, and any new hire I have this year. I want to sit down with them, him and I, and talk to them and say what's been working, what hasn't. So I will schedule that within the next 10 days. We will be doing that. I'm surprised that as far as the way this industry is, how advanced we are with technology and how forward thinking we are, and boy, we're not in the dealership world. And the people that run it and the people that own these stores, we have to change. And it comes with hiring new people with new ideas. So that's what I'm excited about.
It's never been tougher to find good quality people that are going to be a part of our team and believe in doing business the way we believe it. It's very, very difficult to find people that are going to fit into our organization, and that's the reason why this tool is so critical today. It's just the ability to widely broadcast to the world out there that we're hiring and what we're looking for. The thing that I like about Hireology is the way they present our dealership in the marketplace. There's nobody else in our immediate market that's using Hireology. And with the face that they put on for us, it gives people a reason to want to consider and apply for us. The other thing that we find that's been particularly helpful is people relocating back to the area. Maybe they've gone south or west, want to move back to the area, and they're looking for a job. Maybe they've been in automotive before. Because of the Hireology platform, those people have a tendency to gravitate towards us. Once Hireology gets the person on the board to us and we've identified somebody with some prospective future for us, it's kind of up to us to get the person in the door and go through a screening process to make sure that they're right for us. So that's kind of the way we see things right now. Is there's a lot of responsibility on the part of the dealership in order to ensure that a good, capable applicant who's showing interest in your coming to work for you, you take advantage of that as quickly and as efficiently as possible, because there's a lot of other businesses out there, a lot of other companies that want to hire them. You used to say, hire slow, fire fast. Anymore, it's hire fast, or you're going to lose that chance.
It's been huge. It has been major as far as the time to hire somebody has definitely gone down. Just again, going through the steps of not having to pull that application, or even just the emails going straight directly to our managers has been great, because in this way it sidesteps me, so we don't have to use myself as a middle person anymore. It just goes straight to that manager. The manager will look up their resume because they received the email, and they pull it up, they see if they like them, and they can go ahead and start the engagement process. If I'm off a day or two, they don't have to go through me for me to filter that to them. As we go through our phase of millennials, that's everything we do. One of them is, if an applicant is currently applying to your position but they have a job, I mean, I'm more likely not going to pick up my phone in front of my boss and answer your call because you have a question regarding my references, or you have a question regarding, hey, did you fill out your background form? As to if I texted, you know, how many of us don't just, you know, really quickly respond to that text? So that's been huge. Another part of the SMS for me has been the interaction and keeping contact with the candidate. So keeping contact with them has been big, just because, you know, they're letting me know that they've completed, you know, this step of the process or whichever step, and I'm, you know, keeping engaged with them as well. So then we're keeping them hooked long enough to make sure that they come on board with us, and building that relationship with that candidate's been important. Just as a platform, again, it's been just huge for us. It's been great. Our turnover numbers don't lie. So our turnover has gone down tremendously. It's actually our goal for the year. It's helped us really accomplish a lot. Help our managers hire better, interview better, having those right questions in there, making sure we're not afraid of what they are asking, because you don't know what they're asking sometimes. So making sure that they're asking the proper questions, and, you know, streamlining that has been just amazing.
That's a good question. I like all the features. I like the whole platform. But really the features that I'm excited about are the ones we're going to. Integrating with net checks, making the onboarding process more digital from start to finish in terms of paperwork and tax forms and all that good stuff as well. So, you know, I like the basic, you know, we basically use it right now for the basic functionality of the platform, but the features and benefits that I know that are there that we're not using, that's kind of what I'm excited about. Yeah, it seems that Hireology is really good for certain positions, right? The porters and that kind of thing. But to the high-tech guys, obviously we know that that's always a challenge. And usually that's referral-based for the most part. It's somebody knows somebody or has worked with somebody in the past that needs a change of scenery or whatever. Some of it too is dealer specific. You know, our stores in Chicago are GM stores, so you know we don't have. You know, we need experienced people with that product line.
My usage of Hireology is daily. First thing I open up when I come in is probably Hireology. I almost probably never close it, to be honest with you. It's something that's constantly running in the back. I always just want to make sure that I'm keeping up to date with it, making sure that I'm checking and tracking any new applicants coming through. I mean, granted, we do get emails and things like that, but just being in the system, making sure backgrounds are, you know, getting done and completed and things like that.
So I love the whole Hireology platform, and this is going to seem silly, but my favorite thing about it, I think, is the little thought bubble, because you can put so many just quick notes in there, and the star rating is helpful too, but it's really nice if you've got more than one hiring manager looking at different applicants. You can kind of talk to each other without actually talking to each other. You can take notes, or something stands out, explain why you're interested, those kinds of things. I think that's awesome. And we're just starting to use the texting application too, which I think is going to be awesome once we're up and running, and train our team on that one.
I honestly, I think I get excited every time I go into the system, because I see something. I mean, it's not communicated that they may be working on something, but we dig around, we're in the system all the time. So when I see new things, it's fun to just dig into them and see what it does for us, or how it makes the hiring process that much easier for us. So, but it's great.